mein Leben!
Here we are with actually a couple games. I'm going to be reviewing Wolfenstein 3D and Spear of Destiny. Now, some call it Wolfenstein. I call it Wolfenstein.
Because in German, that's what we say. We say Wolfenstein. I will say it that way and you will like this. Yeah.
Also, I've been doing other reviews. Please check them out. We're going to be doing a new game, I assume. Yes, okay. There's all sorts of different episodes. I think I'm playing the demo. Can't remember. So it's your basic first-person shooter. Absolutely nothing amazing about it, other than it was essentially the first of its time. This game went on to influence games like Doom, and Doom was even accused of basically being a straight-up clone of this, but I think Doom was another level of this. When I was a kid, believe it or not, some of the school computers actually had this installed in them. I've been thinking about it, and I'm unsure if the adults knew about it, I don't know. I'd say at least middle school we were installing stuff. I mean, there was almost every computer in middle school had AIM on it, so, and it, they didn't want us to have it on it, but it was still there. Same thing in high school. In high school, I used to talk to my girlfriend when I was at school on AIM. I'd just go into the computer lab. So, this game is just a classic. Basically, it invented the first-person 3D shooting genre. And you can see that there are elements that Doom itself improved upon. Definitely the graphics, just the overall flow. The weapons and animations were, of course, improved upon by Doom as well. Here, I guess my biggest complaint is just the outside of the graphics, really. I mean, I like old school graphics, but these could have been slightly smoother. I'm convinced that they're not as smooth because I used to play this on a Mac originally, and it had a Power PC, and I gotta get my old iMac up and running one of these days, but I swear that the Power PC, when it rendered all this, it rendered it much better. At the time, just the way that this game is laid out was basically a revolution. You can see it set the standards for modern first-person shooter games. Incidentally, this game was also ported onto SNES, meaning that it was put onto a ROM and you could play it on your Super Nintendo, which I haven't tried. I tend to not like ports of games for some reason. I think it's just because of the controls. Because I'm used to having a keyboard versus having a control pad. But at the time, just keep in mind, this was as true to life as it ever got. This was state of the art. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, like, looking at this, and especially in the office areas. I mean, these skeletons are horrible. But In the office areas, the wood looks, looked real in big, large quotes. And it, you could use your imagination and you can transcend inside of this game, and it was really cool. Pretty much in the same way that we do with modern video games, it's just they have a lot better graphics than this. One of my biggest beefs with this game is that, I don't know what's called, rubbing against edges of things makes that annoying sound. I think Doom, in part, as part of its simple, I guess keep it simple, stupid attitude, thankfully it didn't do that, but here it does, and it gets rather annoying. I also believe that all of the, I don't even know what they are, but all of the, file-wise, maybe they're just like some bitmaps of, the barrels and things. You'll notice that most things just keep their perspective. So basically it's 2D and 3D. At the time you didn't really notice these things because you were so enthralled in the gameplay and the fact that you can walk through rooms and open doors, like, that enough was pretty cool. And granted, you had that on, Super Mario Brothers and stuff like that, but not to this, I suppose, accuracy. The other beef that I have with this is you can't do this thing which is called slicing the pie. I never use the mouse, so maybe that's why I can't do it, but it would be very helpful in staying alive in this game. And I kind of do it there. That was kind of a slice the pie maneuver, but you're kind of, it's kind of a hit or miss sort of thing. I like using strafe and forward on most first-person shooters, and that helps me slice the pie more, but alas, you cannot do this, at least on this version that I have, which is DOS. So I don't know if the Mac version is any different, but yeah, that's a big thing for me.
Mein Leben!
Okay, so enough with the foreplay. Here I load one of the harder saves. I'm unsure from whence these came, but yeah, I'm glad they existed anyway. I know some of those save games there were my buddies and me, but this one, I don't know where it came from. So this kind of shows you where people kind of got that whole idea of Doom being a duplicate of this, because when you fight
The Führer, when you battle with the Führer, who is behind this wall, as the Führer! Diver.
So you can see that it's very similar to the Doom spider things that have the machine guns on top of them. This guy is reminiscent of those goblin things that shoot fireballs at you. So, when you look at these higher levels, you can really see why people accused Doom of being a clone of this at the time. But I think Doom is its own thing, and I think this is its own thing. Doom took an entire different aspect. Like, yes, this involves a little bit of fantasy, but it doesn't really go beyond the scope of 1940s Nazism. I mean, they believed in all sorts of crazy theosophist things, so yeah, you could have Hitler rise from the dead. I mean, Goebbels would have loved that, that was his bag. So it all fit. You could do this weird stuff in this context. But Doom just took that to a completely different level. drive erasing. So here at least they ditched the horse Vesolied, which is that, you know, da 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 da. It would later come back to haunt you in the 2001 release of Wolfenstein, where basically if you didn't shoot the radio, you would have to hear that stupid song over and over and over again. So that was fun. This is kind of like second verse, same as the first. It's basically just an enhancement. It's similar to the Japanese version of Super Mario Bros. 2. Our Super Mario Bros. 2 was specifically for an American audience. The Japanese version of Super Mario Bros. 2 was basically just an enhancement on the same exact thing. And that's kind of what this is. But I would argue it's less of an enhancement than anything. So we have basically the same weapons. We have basically the same layout. The graphics are certainly slightly better here, but my beef is with these tight corridors, and yeah, it's just, it eliminates the fun of the map. Even getting lost, it's fun to walk in long corridors. Maybe, I was thinking, perhaps for some people this maybe made it easier, or maybe by having these small parts, the designers of said map were able to just put more stuff on it. I'm unsure, but it's one of my beefs with this thing. I'm not a fan of this for that reason. It's also a little bit harder to navigate. Now, when you walk into this room is nice. I love this room. But then we get back into these little tiny mazes where you don't even know what the hell is around the corner. I'm unsure why, at least according to my research, they released essentially the same game twice in the same year. I would think they would have kind of mixed the two together to make an even better Wolfenstein 3D. But yeah, it's still a good game to play, and if I didn't have Wolfenstein 3D to play, I would definitely play Spear of Destiny. Nothing really has changed. It's all about points, it's all about collecting treasure, it's all about kills, the whole 9 yards. This map is a little bit more forgiving, but what I liked about the Spear of Destiny is more guys came after you. It was a little bit more realistic. Again, why they couldn't have just put that in the first one is beyond me. Thank you so much for checking this out with me. It's a game that I've always loved. And check out my I've been doing reviews, other videos of Nintendo 64. I have Mario Kart up there. There's all sorts of stuff. I even did a really long video of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Probably not the best sell right there, but I don't know, I had fun with it. I hope you guys had fun and you enjoyed the nostalgia if you once played this game. And if you're new to this whole DOS world, check it out and buy the games and have fun.